Everybody, welcome to another episode of Carry On Friends, the Caribbean American podcast. And I'm excited to have Keisha on the podcast this morning. Keisha, how are you?
I am very happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
So, why don't you tell the community of friends a little bit about who you are, Caribbean country you represent, and the work that you do?
All right, sure. So I'm Keisha Bailey, born and raised Jamaican, yarded to the ting. I was born in Augusttown, in Kingston, Jamaica, and I lived in Jamaica for, I guess, the first 29 years of life. I migrated to Canada, to Toronto, to do my MBA, and I've been working before, on Bay Street with one of the big banks there, managing over $100 billion as a portfolio manager. These days, I now have left the bank. I'm running my own company, Profit Jumpstarter. And what I do with that company is that we are about helping people to turn the money they have into the money they want. My company is very big on financial empowerment, around education, and getting persons to realize that wealth is possible and to access the wealth that is possible. So these days, I live between Jamaica and Toronto, being a global citizen of the world, and I am helping clients along with my team to build wealth. We work with several persons and small businesses, entrepreneurs, larger companies around creating and implementing investment strategies to build wealth faster, to take it to that millionaire status. So I'm living the dream. I like to say I'm living my purpose where I'm taking a lot of the knowledge I have and the experience I have in wealth management and helping persons in my community to be wealthy.
Me say, Keisha, you know, say, and that go perk up people ears, you
Yeah, the
know.
money, the money, the money tends to do that. When people hear the word money, well, them say, wait there, come
Es-
listen up, listen close.
yeah, especially since, a market correction is on the horizon, as they are saying. We have
Hmm.
inflation, as they are
Yes.
saying, so all right, so let's back up a little bit before we get to the money parts. We want to know how you get to the money part. So tell me a little bit about how you grew up. You know, you grew up rich, like
No,
what
never born with a gold spoon in my mouth. As I said, I come from Augustone, right? Single mother. So one thing though, my mother was big on, or is big on, education. She always say, study a book, go on a school, because for her, education was the way that we could, make a better life for ourselves. And so she really pushed us to excel in education. And I think it really started from there, the appreciation for knowledge and just want to learn everything, learn, because in my mind, this are the way. You have to learn so you can, make it out. So I grew up poor, as I said, it's three of us and single mother, so she do our best, utmost best, and that taught me, important lessons in perseverance, important lessons in, you always have to figure out a way. You have to figure it out because nothing is handed to you, so you have to fight. Relentless pursuit. So went to high school, Campion College, big up. Then went to UE, did my first degree in actuarial science. Cause I say I love education. I was a nerd. So actuarial science is a
you
very
love the
complex.
maths and the numbers, cause
Yes,
actually, yes.
it's not easy, but I graduated with first class honors. Cause just love school. And then I was working in Jamaica at some of the big banks. They're managing money. So right out of university, I always was just a portfolio manager. I manage a lot of the big pension funds in Jamaica when I was at NCB. And then from there, I moved on to Scotia, worked also with other big banks as well, always managing money, even managing money for some of the, institutional large clients, pension fund, charity. And I felt that, I wanted more experience. I wanted now to understand international portfolio management, not just within the Caribbean region. So that's when now I said, all right, Canada to the thing. Let's step out and go now and acquire our international education. So I went to Canada to the Ivy Business School, did my MBA there, graduate with honors again. That was a good experience because you're learning about international finance, international standards, and I work now with one of the banks there. I was recruited there from the MBA program as a portfolio manager, and you learn now. I guess you get practical experience in bigger money, foreign money, and how that works in terms of different asset classes where you can invest in. Within the Caribbean, it was mostly just listed stocks, and we did some private debt transactions and real estate. But when you go international, I hear more things like you're
Some
talking
next
about,
level things, no.
yeah. So it opened up your eyes to more. You get that experience managing different asset classes, as they call it. But for me, after a while, I started, that uncomfortable feeling of I need to help my people because why sit down and I make people who are already rich richer when my people, my community, other immigrants, other people like myself who just want somebody bust them. So I decided, what, I'm gonna start Profit Jumpstarter, left the bank and started Profit Jumpstarter where me and my team now we work with clients to build that wealth faster. We have education courses, we have private clients that we work with every month just to educate them and to also show them how to implement strategy. Because for a lot of my clients these days, they're first generation wealthy persons, right? They never come from wealth either, but through hard work and that relentless pursuit, they start make money. But now that they're making money, they don't know what to do with it because they weren't born with money. So what we do now that I have money, what we must do? I know I shouldn't be, splurging and spending it off. I'm a work hard feet, but don't know what to do. How do I preserve this money? How do I keep it growing after I've made it? So that's where Profit Jumpstart are coming now to help persons and businesses to continue to scale the wealth. Wealth is possible. Take you from where you are to millionaire status, multi-millionaire status in, US dollar terms. So, not millionaire Jamaican, millionaire international
International.
status.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's exciting work because now I'm able to have an impact instead of just doing the same level of work, but people would already be rich, they're already wealthy. All right, so I'm gonna take it from 1 billion to 2 billion. It's not as impactful as the person who making their first million. And I guess it just rests on my heart that you have to be able to give back. You have to give back. You have to help your people, and that's what Profit Jumpstarter is all about. So, when they say you're stepping in your purpose and you're living that, that's what kind of bring a lot of fulfillment. And these days just I help most people on the money thing or the wealthy thing work.
Listen, me ready, but I just want to level set some things to have a conversation. But before we get to that point, I want to ask you're living in between Jamaica and Canada, you understand US. So when I say Caribbean American, it don't limit to just America. Canada is part of North America. So
Mm.
when I say that, so being that you've lived in both areas, what do you think is that mindset that can we know that money is more mental in some ways than it is the actual money where you're getting in your hand. So, are you noticing a particular pattern when it comes to mindsets around money or investing or whatever that trips us up, whether you are born in the region or you're first generation?
Well, the main thing is that a lot of persons when they first come to me, you know, they so happy that they make some money or so happy that them have a little change, that them have the change in our bank account tucked away, earning nothing. So that
Mm-hmm.
scarcity mindset is there because you never born with nothing, you never have nothing. Know that you finally have a little thing. However small or big it is your thing. And you
Mm-hmm.
say, I'm gonna protect this, I'm gonna just put it in our bank account because that's what I grew up here in bank account, bank account. So they have the funds in a savings or checking account earning zero, and because of that, you have to work hard to keep the money they're growing because you're not getting the interest. So you have to keep putting money into that account to see it growing. And so you push yourself, you work hard. So, and that's the mentality you grow up with: work hard, work hard, work hard. So When persons come to me, a lot of them are at that point where they say, boy, I figure out what to do to make money. And I tucking it away in my bank account, may I stash it, but can't do this so much longer. I can't keep work like this. May I get old? May I get
Yeah.
on and I realize say something has to change, but they don't know what to do because wealth management is not something available to them. And when they go to bank will say, all right, put your money over here. So and that's it. Nobody says to you, all right, let's talk about a portfolio. Let's look on your money and talk about your goals. Let's talk about where your retirement will look like. You want to retire where you are, you're going back to the Caribbean, where you plan. Nobody really does that with you at the level you're at now. So this is where I come in now and start having those discussions and say, all right, we have to think about these things because definitely the millionaires and billionaires, they all have somebody like me. They all have a strategist that works with them. The family office, the investment strategist works with the family to go and build the wealth. So when the kids are born, they're each given, here's a trust fund, here's a this, that the strategist looking on. We don't really have that. So I'm here creating that now through Profit Jumpstarter for my community because we need to have it too. Why we can't have it?
Of course, but no most. So, what's the starting point for someone to say, all right, Keisha, sound like a she me need for work with, So, like, what's the first step for someone to say, all right, I think me ready for reach out to Keisha and fix my money so me can sort out properly. Like, what's that first step?
I think for most person, when I think back on the clients we have, it all starts with how much you have stashed away. So if you say you have around 50,000 US stashed away in your saving account, then you say, boy, nothing now go on for this. That's where now I can come in and start helping you to implement strategies. Anything below that, I usually say to clients, start building. So regularly and consistently go and put money in that account, build it up to 50,000, and then we can talk. At that point now we're coming
So then somebody's gonna be like, boy, Keisha, 50,000. What heap of money that? So I think we have to then drill down a little bit. What can we do? Because now in a state of inflation, everything dear. So you did have a
hmm
little emergency fund and now you're dipping it because we used to pay for 1 milk. No, yeah, that barely pay half
get
of it,
a sachet now, yeah,
right? So what are some of the strategies that people can use to save
to build
given
up
the
to the 50.
inflation, and the inflation that we're in. So we have to consider, what happened in a real life.
Well, so 50,000 you can get to there, right? You can because say I put 500 a month or you put 200 a month. Over time, it's gonna build up to that amount of money. It's gonna build up. You just have to be consistent, right? But we're gonna say no, or we're gonna put the money aside. It comes from budgeting. And the type of budgeting I teach my clients is not the write down every single cent you spend and track it. Because that's overwhelming. That's overwhelming. And I don't want anybody beating up themselves that, I should not eat no lunch today because my budget. I live in abundance personally and I show my clients how to do that. So we follow a rule where we do 50, 30, 20. 50% of your income goes to your needs. That's your light bill, water bill, rent, your utilities. 30% goes to your wants. This is the hairstyle, the nail, the one may go buy a little new dress car Christmas a come. And then 20% now goes to saving and investing, where you're using the saving to build your emergency fund, the investing to do the wealth creation. So once you have put away that 20%, it must build up. It must build up. Don't focus on the time that it takes. It's not a race. It's not a race, right? Is consistency does it. If you're consistently putting away the money, you're gonna see that it start working for you. Don't put it away just so investing money shouldn't be in your saving account. Saving account is just for emergencies, right? You need to now open the investing account and go and put the money in there. So you go to your advisor and you say, all right, I need an investment account where it grows. They will tell you what those are, because every bank has them. And then you keep putting your money in there every month. When it reaching out to that 50,000, you say, all right, Keisha, ready. Come show more for the know to carry this to the million.
Me go ask because somebody is going to say, well, you mean go to the bank and ask the investment account? Me have to buy stocks and bonds and all of these things.
there are a lot of them, a lot of different types of investments, right? So when you go in, let's role play through. You walk into the bank say, hey, hello, how are you? You go in, you say, all right, I was told, I listen to Carrie and Friends podcast, and a lady on it, Keisha Bailey, said to open one account, an investment account. They're gonna say, yes, we have several of those. What do you want? That they're gonna say, because they all have it. So what you do at that point is say, I want something that I can put my money in it and it gives me a good growth rate. It gives me a high rate of return. Then they're gonna show you a list of them, right? They're gonna say, oh, we have this and this and this and this and this because you already tell them you're looking for growth. Now, when they show you that list, you're just really honestly, you pick any one of those growth, you keep putting your money in there every month because what is important at this point is the habit of consistency and building that habit. So anything you go with that's a growth type investment, you're gonna be fine. When you reach the 50,000 now, is when we'll have to get a little more intentional and start to go into, some more exotic type stuff. That's where I come in. But when you're just starting out, because your main goal when you're starting out is to build consistency. Same like you go in the gym, right? You come in, you're overweight, you're not gonna say, all right, I'm gonna start lift the heavy weights then from day one and go. No, you come in, you walk on a little treadmill, you walk the treadmill, but in the early days of the gym, your important thing you're building is consistency of coming
Consistency.
here every day.
Showing
Now
up
come
to
here,
the gym. Yeah.
right. Same with your money. You have to consistently put in the money every month. That is the first habit because if you can't do that, you're not gonna reach millionaire status because if you can't do it, to take it to 50,000. How when we reach a 50 now, maybe show you over reach a million because you won't have that habit of consistently putting money into investments. So we want to start that first.
So what I'm hearing is when I'm looking to save, yeah, checking our savings good, but if me have $100, okay, me go put $5 in my savings account. I put the $95 into a more growth. And I'm not saying that's the dollar amount, but the savings account is just there for easier access because this investment growth account, you can't just go and go dip in there like that. So
Right. You can't touch it because so investment account, I mean, you can go and withdraw, but usually sometimes you're gonna have a little penalty if you
penalty,
withdraw too quick. The aim of investment is not a checking account, it's not a
yeah.
credit card, it is a wealth creation tool. It a build up the money for the future. When I say future, I mean 5 years or more. If you need it before 5 years, don't put the money there in the first place.
Okay. All right. See, that is where I was getting to. So, but what I'm hearing is that we need to incorporate this into our budgets. One, first and foremost. When we're budgeting, we have to incorporate not the savings in the regular savings account, but this investment account where there's a rate of return on growth, power money, the money I work. And so that is the first step, and just being consistent, like we say in the Caribbean, one cocoa full basket. For right now, it's really important just to creep and just get into the habit of putting money into the account. Fantastic. I want to switch now to the business people. So what is your advisory strategy around people who maybe they're selling cupcakes on the side or some other thing on the side to get to a point where, okay, all right, we need to level up and maybe explore whether you're going to do this business full time, whatever the scenario is.
Well, all right. So when we start out our business, that is good because a business is an asset. Why is an asset? Because it can make money, it can make cash to flow to you. That
Hmm.
cash is now what we use to build wealth. So it is a very good thing to have a business, right? Ideally, everybody should have a business or some form of way, right? Whether you invest in business or you are on the business, but the business is an asset. Now, when you start out and you say, may I sell my bag juice every weekend or I sell soup on the weekend, you over time are gonna get some consistency in the cash flow. The more you do it, again, it come back to the same consistency, showing up
Consistency.
every week, sell your bag juice, money going start come. Now that money now it's same 50, 30, 20. Come back to it, right? Pay your bills, take care of yourself, focus on saving and investing. You go and do that. Your business now, as if you focus on it, it's going to also be growing. But because you have the 50, 30, 20 I work with, you're building wealth at the same time. With businesses, yes, you start and some people may get discouraged and say, boy, it's not work out or whatever, but you come back to the same consistency thing. As the business making money, if you put that money now to invest after you make it, you're gonna see now the wealth creation happening because really that is the secret where enough people don't know that all right, money come in, I need to invest it. Even if you're in a 9 to 5, money come in, you need to invest a portion of it. That's how it works. And I just work on your collect the money and you stretch it. You have to put aside some for your future wealthy self. So business, 9 to 5, same principle apply. You push on with your business, it's gonna grow. It's gonna grow as well. So my clients that I have that are entrepreneurs, the work I do with them and my team does with them is around also making sure the business consistently runs so it can keep bring money to you, right? So one of the beauties of working with the Profit Jumpstarter team is that we have a lot of connections. We have a lot of people that we can put you in touch with to help you make sure that the business won't grow. So it's very holistic, right? Because I said the main intention is that we build wealth. And for build wealth, you have to have money coming in. Whatever money that is, are the money where you are. So let us work together to turn it into the money you want.
Well, you just said something that um I mean, we know it in theory, but we don't do it in action, right? We know it's not just a work, work, work. We have the basic principles because, like you said, we know that we're supposed to save it. It's taking it the step further, save it where, put it where, and that is what Profit Jumpstarter is trying to teach
Right,
people that yeah, we have the basic principles. We have the
right.
basics down pat. We know we need to save it. We know we need to put it somewhere. Let me show you a better way, a better place to put it so the money works harder or just as hard as you work to get the money.
Yeah, money work harder than anybody. Because money not sleep, right? So while you working, you say, I'm tired, no matter sleep. Money doesn't sleep. It's a 24-hour, 7 day a week, 365 thing, right? You know, take no vacation. It's
Yeah,
always a work. So that's why it's important to put the money to work because it work better than you. And
yeah,
if your aim is at some point you want to step back from the working, start trading up the money from early, right?
yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love this conversation and I hope everyone
Yeah.
got those references because everybody can connect with them. So before we leave and wrap up, let's talk a little bit about some of the mistakes that people make
Mm-hmm.
and um what's one thing we can do to address them. So we talked about consistency and let me tell you, Keisha, I talk about consistency. People ask me, how you doing this podcast? I say, hey, some day hard, I'm tired and I don't want to record, but guess what? I have to show up, and so it's the consistency over time. Just keep doing, keep pushing. So
Mm-hmm.
consistency is number one. You have to just be consistent. But what are some mistakes that you see people are making, whether an entrepreneur or, a regular person with a job when it comes to saving and their mindsets around money, and what is your advice to them? So one for each category, one for business, one for a regular person who's just working.
Yeah. So the thing is, especially for a lot of persons like myself, first generation person making money, individuals struggle with scarcity. Come never really have it. No, I have a little thing. It's not a big thing, but a my thing. So never protect it. So what ends up happening then is you are closing off your mind from possibilities that exist because you're so happy if you have this thing that you say, boy, I'm just looking on this thing, the one thing, and not considering the future of the thing, right? So when those clients come to us at Profit Jumpstarter, even when we discuss with them strategies and we say, this, you still have this mindset block. This boy, I love safety, me never have this. Me not explore nothing else. Me just go and do my thing. But me know me not happy with what I have, but I'm afraid to try something new because never have nothing new yet and what if I make it. Some people struggle with that may I work hard to make it, but I never really think about what life would be like when I do make it. Me just so into the grind, but may I work for something, but I've never stopped to think, what happen when we get it? What's that gonna be like? Am I gonna have the same friends? What's life gonna look like? And then they come to Profit Jumpstarter and it's like, wait, but yeah, show me say this possible, man. That means it's like and it's a lot for them.
Yeah.
So
I, oh my God, you just said a word right there. Because,
yeah,
you know, what we know is the money where me have it right now, me not happy with it, but it's sure. I me not left
yeah,
sure
I
for
check it every
unsure.
morning. Yeah, I check it every morning. Yeah, you say
Right.
you work with wealthy people already, but me not really did it yet. So I do consider myself one of those
Well,
people. So we work
yeah.
for them now, go work for me, which is not the right way to think about it. So for those persons, I'd say, challenge yourself, no? What got you to where you are won't get you to the next level.
Wow.
And as I had said, every millionaire, billionaire have a profit jumpstarter team behind it.
Mm,
When Kobe Bryant died, his family was able to mourn him, right? Him wife never have to wonder how she gonna bury him and if him picnic them mother can't eat or go school or whatever. All should I'm sure when she got the news that he died, the next phone call probably was somebody like me calling her to say, when you're coming in to go over the paperwork.
wow.
Because everything organized. That's the level I want people to think about,
Yeah.
right?
And that level is possible.
Yeah, I mean, that's what exists. We just don't
Yeah.
know how we're exposed to it. So
Yeah.
you have to challenge yourself into, all right, I obviously am evolving into a new person. Let me see what this next level is like for me,
Yeah.
right? So same thing now for businesses is, start this business, it'll do good, but me I pour my all in it, but me never really know it would have do that good. Me just a work hard, but me never know it would have take off so fast or take off so much. So the entrepreneurs then the CEOs of these companies they're so into the day to day running the business that them not stop to think, all right, where do I want this business to go? Am I going to be listing the company on a stock exchange? Do I want to sell the company? Am I passing it on to my children? Them not know. Them just busy in it. I do what them I do because it's become a part of their life. It's like well, it become a child even, right? So for those the business owners, what we do at Profit Insider is we talk first out plans for the business because the business is how you get your money. So what are the plans? And we help to document that and make sure it's there, the exact plans for the business in terms of scaling it and what the exit is, if there's an exit or legacy planning and all of that. First up, because we have to know that so that we can now work backwards to say, all right, what strategies do we need to implement from today to get you to that point? So the mindset we know is critical for sure, both individual and business, but different levels, but same kind of problem. I think we spoke earlier about yeah, do I have enough money? Me not have enough. So for the we kind of address that boy, you still have to have this habit of consistency. But even when you know have the habit of consistency, you say, wait about the money I pile up like Keisha say. We have to now recognize that we need to change. We
Yeah.
need to evolve.
Yeah. And that is, in addition to consistency, it is leaning into that thing that we are changing, and we have to lean into what we need to do to evolve to that next level, right? Because
Right.
if we stay in the confines of what we know, we can get to the place that we want to go when it comes to our money.
You're not
So,
even going to realize it. You're not even going to see the place because
yeah.
you're so into the present that you close off all the opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah. Keisha, this was wonderful because, I mean, we've had a lot of conversations about money and why it's been important to have this conversation a lot of times. My friends and I, we hear a lot of, and this is nothing against any of those financial coaches out there, you know, people have to address the nuance, and a lot of that is cultural. So if you're not talking to the cultural issues that people experience, then it's very hard to have a breakthrough. You understand? You have to
Yeah. So
meet
we
them.
we at Profit Jumpstarter, it's around the investment strategy. Not so much we're not coaches. We're not
I
so
know that. I know that. And that's why it's important, because it's more tactical. Because when it's
right.
tactical, then you can work back and say, okay, this is what we, because you just said it. You're tired, your money needs to work, and you want your money to work. So how we gonna get your money to work? Work backwards from there. We
Yeah,
need to
so
change some behaviors.
exactly. I like telling my clients, if you're winning on a play, because the money out there for make, the wealth is there. Let's get to work, right? The mindset shift will occur, right,
Hmm.
as the clients work with us. So that will come naturally once they start seeing things change right before them. The mindset shift will come, but we are heavily focused on the strategies. What we need to do for make this wealth build. What we need to do,
Yes.
and we're actively doing that.
Yes, yes, and that's what I recognize. Like, you first have to uh, deal with a strategy and then work backwards to take the action to actualize that strategy. So I think that is very important when it comes to money, and not just you know one size fits all approach to money and finance, because we know that's not what works for everyone. There are general best practices, but it's not a one size fits all. So
Right.
thank
We have to customize. Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you so much for this conversation. Now, I want you to tell everybody where to find you, if them not reach the 50,000, which course them can take, all of these extra things that you have going on.
All right. So lots of information are available on our website, profitjumpstarter.com. We have a weekly newsletter that goes out that has investment tips and strategies that you can implement in real life. So once you go on profitjumpstarter.com/newsletter, you can sign up for the newsletter and you get all of that information every week. Also, we're on YouTube. Lots of information videos are there that you can go and watch, to work on that mindset shift that needs to happen and to give you really simple strategies that you can implement right now. Now, for persons who are interested in becoming clients and say, a profit jump starter to the thing, ready for wealth creation, then to build up to that first 50,000, the money blueprint course, which is available on the website, is what you'd need, because inside that course you're going to get all the strategies that you need to implement to get you to the 50,000. The investing strategy, how to find the different types of investments, how, if you want to invest in the stock market yourself, how to pick stock, how to open an account. It's all there inside that course, and it's on the website profitjumpstarter.com/money blueprint. It's the blueprint to having money. Follow the blueprint, the money will come, basically. And then for persons who are ready to work with the Profit Jumpstarter team as a private client, a VIP private client, you would just send an email to admin@profitjumpstarter.com. Once you send that email, you are going to be given a link to book a consultation call. Book that call. You'll like to get me or one of my team members on that call with you to talk about, all right, what you're looking for, what exactly are you looking to achieve, what you're looking to do, and we'll discuss the various packages that we have available for our private clients. But
Awesome.
nice and simple, because most of our time is focused on the implementation of the
Presentation.
strategies. Because we don't have time for waste, money have to make, wealth out there. Our wealth out there, we're helping clients to take what's theirs.
I just love what you're doing. I love that, you're making it seem possible. And, I think more than anything, it's you. It's not so much the thing, it's you. Because you have to also remember, when people go in a bank, they must see me, that they might go deal with me or understand me. But I feel like if I go to Keisha understand the thing and know
Hmm.
like Keisha is going to talk to me on a level where I get. So I just
Right.
want to say that in addition to your expertise, which I think is fabulous, I want you to also know it's you. Like I'm me go do more on the business with you because that's the vibe and
Yeah, that's
energy
why,
you give
yes,
me.
people like the realness, the warmth and the realness, and they me not come, stuffy and good morning, me not keep it real with you. But me know the thing at the
Yes.
same time
Time.
to take
Yes.
you to
Yes.
where you want to go. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much, Keisha, for being on the podcast. I'll make sure I put everything in the show notes. And as I love to say at the end of every episode, walk good.